The first time I met my girlfriend's childhood best friend, he proudly introduced himself as the ultimate fake baller investigator. Throughout the entire dinner, he couldn't stop lecturing me. Men really shouldn't overdress to look like someone they aren't. If Delilah hadn't explicitly told me you were her boyfriend, I would have definitely grouped you with all those fake rich guys I've exposed online. My girlfriend, Delilah, eagerly nodded along. You really do dress a bit too flashy, Noah. You should listen to Silas and tone it down. I couldn't even be bothered to argue with them. I made an excuse to go to the restroom, but right outside the door, I overheard Silas delivering his expert appraisal of me. Delilah, just look at how that man walks and talks. He's obviously been through one of those gold digger training camps. He only approached you for your money. Think about it. A Patek Philippe watch, a limited edition Louis Vuitton briefcase, and a multi-million-dollar sports car. How could a regular resident doctor ever afford that? My blood boiled, and I finally reached the end of my patience. I turned around, pulled out my phone, and called my mother, the richest billionaire in New York. Mom, wire me $10 million. I'm going to buy out a certain fake baller agency and teach this guy that wealthy women can actually have sons. As I hung up the phone, Silas's confident voice drifted out from the private dining room. Delilah was looking at him, nodding with absolute trust. I really wanted to see how Silas planned to test a real heir like me. When I pushed the door open, Silas was holding my Louis Vuitton briefcase, inspecting the lock and the leather from every angle with a condescending smirk. I'm telling you, young guys like you really shouldn't get caught up in comparing yourselves to others. The first step to becoming a fake baller is trying too hard to package yourself. This bag of yours is a rental, right? I almost laughed out loud. When Silas saw I wasn't speaking, he assumed he had hit a nerve. He put on an I knew it expression and shifted his gaze to my Patek Philippe watch. Can you let me authenticate that watch of yours? Don't get the wrong idea. I'm just worried you got scammed into spending real money on a fake. After all, the bag is already a knockoff. Delilah was already looking at me with deep suspicion. She gave me an order. Silas is just looking out for you. Hurry up and let him see it. If Silas actually appraised this as a fake, it would only prove that he was the real fraud here. I took off the watch, handed it to him, and smiled. Sure, this watch is a highly limited edition, so make sure you don't mess up your appraisal. Silas eagerly snatched the watch. As he examined it carefully, I clearly caught the flash of raw jealousy in his eyes. It was obvious he had already realized the watch was authentic, but he still opened his mouth to lie. Oh wow, Delilah. Your boyfriend is still trying to pass this off as a limited edition to get away with it, but it's actually just a cheap replica. I just have to ask. You're a young guy with an average family and an average job. Why are you buying these fakes just to stroke your ego? Don't tell me you thought you could use these knockoffs to trap a rich girl and drain her bank account? The belittling tone in his words couldn't have been more obvious. In an instant, the way the other people at the table looked at me changed from admiration to disgust. Delilah glared at me with sheer contempt, her voice dripping with disgust. How can you be so vain? And to think I actually believed you were different from other men. It turns out you all just want my money. Looking at her disgusted expression, my heart turned ice cold. I used to think Delilah was just easily influenced, but that she at least had basic judgment. After all, we had been together for almost a year. Shouldn't she know what kind of person I am by now? I frowned, matching her dissatisfaction. Delilah, who is actually your boyfriend here? You just blindly believe a single word he says? Since that's how it is, I don't see any point in finishing this dinner. I stood up, grabbed my bag, and prepared to leave. Silas gave a fake plastic smile and chimed in again. Why are you in such a hurry to leave? Did the rental time on that sports car downstairs run out? Are you using this as an excuse to go return it? I was completely out of patience. I turned and demanded an answer. What makes you think my car is a rental?